So the Lions complete the season 9-8 after a victory over the Bears 19-16. And it's safe to say, most of the Detroit Lions fans did not expect a season like this and are fairly disappointed. And the delusional fan base expected a Super Bowl run with all the changes the Lions made in the offseason. So now the Lions, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, got some tough decisions to make on the offseason. Also, they have to prepare for the draft. There are already like 5 or 6 mock drafts already seen out. And I will say this about Dan Campbell, even though I criticize him for his play calling and decisions when it comes to Detroit Lions, and I think he did cost us a couple of games, but he is accountable. He is accountable for his actions. And he did get better down the stretch, I would say that. But with that being said, we still need an offensive coordinator in there to call plays. We need Dan Campbell to go back to his regular position, which is head coach. Now, I don't own the rights to this content. It's for educational purposes only. But let's listen to what Terry Bradshaw has to say and Dan Campbell's closing statement after the Bears win.
In the playoffs this year.
Washington went in there in the divisional round and beat them. You know what? Listen, it's real simple. You lose Aaron Glenn, your defensive coordinator. You use Ben Johnson, your offensive coordinator. And when you do that, you got to start all over. Then you go out and get in Morton, an offensive coordinator you think to replace Johnson from Denver, and he doesn't do it. And the head coach has to start calling the plays. Ragnow, their center, huge loss was Ragnow. And then at the end of the year, it seemed like it just gave in because their defense just went south, averaged at over 30, giving up over 30 points a game. So, yeah, there's a lot of problems going on in Detroit.
You know, we've and listen, as far as practice, I've done everything, man. I've done from walkthroughs to we go to doing a little bit of both. And so at the end of the day, I know this, you got to get your team prepared to play. And so that's what I'm always going to hang my hat on.
Yep, you've been on the job now 5 years. I know you'll do a comprehensive self-scout of yourself and everything, but just if I ask, how do you feel like you did this year on the job being the head coach of the Lions?
Not good enough. We didn't get in. I mean, we underachieved, so not good. I would give myself a freaking F.
Now, these are the teams that lead in sacks this year. Lions are in the top 4. Now, when they say numbers don't lie, that is a lie. Because out of those top 5 teams, only one team is entering the playoffs, and that's the Denver Broncos. Now, Terry Bradshaw is saying what I've been saying all year long. Before the season started, you lose 2 coordinators, your offensive and your defensive coordinator. You also lose 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen, Zettler and Ragnow, on top of the coordinators. Now, how many teams you know could go through that transition and make it to the Super Bowl? This is why I say, other than Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions are one of the most delusional fan bases in football. They should have made the playoffs, but no way this team was ready for a Super Bowl run after losing that this offseason. Or should I say last offseason. This is a big offseason for Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Not only do we have the draft, we have free agency. And what I'm hearing, Jared Goff is willing to restructure his contract, and a couple of other Lions players are really willing to do that. But we'll talk about that in another video. And also, it's no ifs, ands, or buts. We need to get another offensive coordinator in here because I want Dan Campbell to go back as head coach. I do not want him calling any more plays. And as far as the defense go, I haven't decided on that yet. Maybe try Shepard for another year, or maybe we get another guy, a seasoned guy that Shepard could learn under for a year and then let him loose again. As far as the Lions season go, I predicted 10-7, no better than 11-6. I thought they would get a wild card and get in the playoffs. So it's a little disappointing to me, but not a lot because I didn't expect a lot this year because all the changes. But anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Let me know what you think about the season. Also, what do you think the Lions' first move should be in the offseason? Me, I think it's a left tackle because Penei Sewell says she wants to stay at right tackle. And right now, I think the pick is Caden Proctor because you know how Brad Holmes loves those Alabama players. So I think Caden Proctor might be the first guy Brad Holmes be looking at. But I thought you knew. I'm out.